Let's start with the visual style. We've got to describe this if someone hasn't seen the movie.
This is all black and white, noir style, though it is very stylized.
It's Schindler's List black and white. There are occasional splashes of color, mostly red, but obviously yellow too, in some big moments.
The only colors you get are red, blue, green, and yellow. Those are the only 4 colors that pop throughout the whole movie.
Oh yeah, blue. It's it's Alexis Bledel's eyes are blue. That's right.
And it's Benicio del Toro's car as well. Everything is very stylized. Everybody's driving old cars ranging from the 1930s to the 1960s.
Yeah, we're going for noir look. When is this story set? Doesn't matter. This is fantasy. I would compare it to like Tim Burton's Gotham City, where it's just like it's kind of its own thing. It's a
mishmash of time periods and styles and things.
Yeah, and so in addition to the black and white, almost everything is like CG, right? There's like very little physical sets.
Yeah, or some of it appears to be like cutouts, while other backgrounds appear to be CG. There's lots of CG car drive.
Of the scene when the yellow bastard is getting out of the car and we have the silhouettes of Bruce Willis and Jessica Alba inside the motel, and it's like that looks very, very artificial.
Yeah, and again, it's really hard to tell because it's not just that everything's black and white, because I don't think it was filmed in black and white. I think everything was color graded.
I would guess that's the case, yes.
Which makes it really hard to distinguish between what's real, like what's an actual physical set and what's CG in the movie.
I think that's what works, as opposed to something like a Star Wars prequel, which this was the era of the Star Wars prequels. Everything is blended far better.
Yeah. Actually, I was having a conversation with a friend today, and actually your name came up, Patrick, because I was talking about how I had to record this episode of the podcast tonight, and we were doing Sin City as one of the movies. And he said, "Oh, I have a friend who loves Sin City. She thinks it's one of the best movies ever made." And I said, "Okay, relax."
Yeah, let's calm down. I mean, 8.5 exists,
Yeah. And
pieces.
I said, you know what? My problem with Sin City is it's the same problem that people have with anime. If you don't like the style, it's hard to get into.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're coming from with that, and I ended up liking the style, maybe in spite of myself. I don't know what, like, 'cause this is the second time I ever saw this movie. First time I saw it, it was on Netflix or something, and I was like, yeah, I've heard a lot about it. Let me watch it. Mm-hmm. I don't care about comic book movies. I don't know what's going on. And then the style just kind of grabbed me. I'm like, I like this. I like the looks of this. Because the classic noir is black and white. Mm-hmm. And then this is that, but with splash of comic book. I want to say this is a colorful film, even though obviously it isn't. But it's like this creative visual element, which is that blending of CG and physical sets that makes it seem colorful, even when it's not. And it still has like all the great, beautiful black and white, dark shadows and stuff.
Yeah, even there's lots of points in the film where characters are in silhouette or some things are colored white when they shouldn't be, if you know what I mean.
Elijah Wood's eyes.
Like Elijah Wood's eyes, yeah. Or Becky's necklaces.
Something I'm just going to say here. First of all, like, the big cast, a lot of big names.
Lots of big tits.
A lot of gorgeous women. And also just, like, Frank Miller, Robert Rodriguez. I don't know if it's the black and white, if that's the actual style. These guys know how to shoot gorgeous women. I don't know what it is. It's so many shots. I'm thinking of Carla Gugino when she's naked
she's
in the bathroom.
Beautiful.
That reminded me like the opening of a Bond credit sequence. That's what it looked like. This entire movie kind of reminded me of those credit sequences.
There were a lot of shots specifically centered around women where you could almost print that and hang it on your wall as like a high art piece.